Vandalism and theft of public infrastructure in Nigerian cities in general and Abuja in particular is the trending topic here of discussion. The issue of vandalism of public infrastructure in Nigeria has been going on for a while, at least for the past 3 to 5 years. It appears that there is still no permanent solution to this. Today, we are going to emphasize on 4 of the major areas of the trending vandalism of public infrastructure. 1 is oil pipelines. It appears whoever the vandals are basically cut the pipeline and spill the crude oil, which also poses an environmental problem to the people and fish and other animals that live within the community. This is a serious problem. And the next topic is telecommunication equipment that are being vandalized and stolen. This also poses a problem to the vandal themselves or the thieves. They could fall from the tower itself and hurt themselves or kill themselves. They also could be electrocuted by electrical current that are being used to power the equipment. And also it poses a problem to the end users, the subscribers that uses the line or the communication itself. The third one is rail line or track that are being vandalized. Again, it appears that the line actually are being cut into pieces and loaded, probably used as a scrap metal for who would be buyers. And I'm quite sure there's no scarcity of buyers. This also poses a safety problem, which could lead into accidents to the trains and the users, and can result into fatalities. The fourth one is bridge rails and joint dams that are also being vandalized. The vehicles also could fall through the gaps that are left open when the rails are being stolen. The dams or the joint dams also could pose a safety problem, not only to the vehicle and also to the structure itself if it's left without being fixed. These and others. Now watch.
Welcome back. If you scan the FCT environs, you'll come across infrastructure constantly vandalized. Traffic light fixtures, manholes, rail tracks. There's nothing people won't steal in the name of hunger in the land. And as the population of Abuja continues to rise, so do the frequencies of these crimes. There are reports that show collaboration between Boko Haram and bandits orchestrating coordinated attacks and the activities of vandals continually destroying vital infrastructure meant to better the living standards of tax-paying Nigerians. These are acts of sabotage. Please watch this.
Thank you very much.
Stakeholders drawn from the engineering sector and security agencies are here for a workshop to discuss the challenges and dangers of vandalism of public infrastructure by criminals within the Federal Capital Territory and Nigeria as a whole. The increasing rate of vandalism and Nigeria's infrastructure deficit remains a critical issue that continues to undermine the country's economic growth, straining efforts by the government to meet the infrastructure needs of its people. Abuse and vandalism of public infrastructure offsets productivity and sustainable livelihoods. Some of these activities include stealing of communication cables, manholes, cutting of railway tracks, stealing bridge rails, among other crimes. The Nigerian Society of Engineers says an estimated $800 billion annually is needed for the next 10 years to bridge Nigeria's infrastructure gap.
Infrastructural development is pivotal in enhancing economic growth, improving living standards, reducing poverty, and contributing to environmental sustainability. It is also an established fact that the place of any country in this technological age in terms of sustainable economic growth and development is predicated on the state of its infrastructures. Infrastructure is crucial for development. It provides the services that enable society to function and economies to thrive. Nigeria's infrastructure deficit remains a critical bottleneck that continues to undermine the country's economic potential. It is estimated that the country will require about $800 billion annually for 10 years to close this gap. This deficit has contributed to limiting Nigeria's growth potential and competitive abilities globally, despite the inadequacy of infrastructural provision and the enormous challenges it poses to our socio-economic growth and development. It is unthinkable that the few provided infrastructure are vandalized daily by some unscrupulous and unconscionable elements and economic saboteurs. These activities have degenerated beyond the bounds of propriety and good taste. Hence, they pose a great danger to the efforts of the government and the lives of many Nigerians.
The representative of the Executive Secretary of the Federal Capital Development Agency speaks on the dangers and aftermath of vandalism.
Vandalism of overhead, underground electrical and telecom cables is also on the rise, with vandals making the streets of the FCT dark, causing security risks. Stripping off the insulation of wires in a bid to get the copper material is another new trend. They have become so daring that they operate even in transformers, not minding the consequences. This is a serious economic threat as it causes job losses, security and safety risks, as well as technological deficit and epileptic power supply. In this case, you know, anybody, most people that do go for this, they are not laymen. They are people who know what they are doing. At times, even the staff of the contractor who has installed the facility will come back in the night to vandalize it. The security agencies, with their mandate of protecting critical infrastructure, should also endeavor to scale up their activities of tackling this ugly menace.
During the panel discussion, the security agencies present narrate the challenges they encounter and measures taken to end infrastructure vandalism.
We should be able to do things for ourselves as a nation. People should see something and say something. Let's fight that common enemy. Engineer can bear me witness, the FCTA man. 2 days, I'm sorry to say this, to the inauguration of the present administration, Mr. President, go around the whole Eagle Square. All the manhole covers were removed. But as busy as that Eagle Square is, the road is, up to 2 a.m. vehicles are plying. Yet, some people will summon courage to go and do that. Look at the transformers. I was taken aback when they said the oil in it, people go for it to fry akara and so on and so forth. What is the meaning of this? Endangering your own life. So these are some of the things, no.
Majorly, the issue we have in this country is patriotism. There wouldn't have been need for all of this vandalism and what have you if Nigerians ordinarily were patriotic to their country. We always hinge our level of patriotism to what we think we can get from the system. We don't always think along the line of what you can give back to the system. And so that has been a major challenge. That's why you find a lot of whatever it is that we have installed to help us navigate, our systems, to help us navigate our cities, they are vandalized. An average Nigerian will see somebody committing an offense. You see Maybola dumping refuse into a bridge. An average Nigerian will even greet you and pass. He doesn't think it is his responsibility to tell that Maybola that what you are doing, you are creating a problem for me. Because by the time the drainages are blocked, all of us will suffer for it. So, what he doesn't know that whatever goes around comes around. So we have that major challenge. But then, electronically, there are ways world over where these kind of things are checked. I know that you can use electronic monitoring systems, to check vandalism. You can interface hardwares and software facility, to be able to create alert systems, with a maybe control center somewhere that gets that control center alerted, and then the relevant agency concerned can be informed to take immediate action. If you use manual labor in dealing with a lot of these things, we'll have a long way to go.
Vandalism of infrastructure is a crime against the country and a clear sign of an unpatriotic citizen, endangering their lives and the lives of others for financial gains and lowering the quality of life of Nigerians for personal enrichment.